So Ben, man, you're part of the KCU University. What do you notice about being on KCU and then like actually being at ITC?
I think the biggest thing is better understanding of watching the videos. So in the videos you can kind of see everything, you can pause it, you can look, but the tactile feel of what's going on is completely different than watching it. And then once you couple that with the footwork, it makes it a little bit more intense and just in a way that you can't do if you're watching the videos and you're trying to say like tap maybe a dummy for argument's sake. It's just completely different with a real person. Okay,
so the benefits of having the video, seeing it in person with Paul Ingram, Tom, you know, a lot of the guys on the team, seeing it in person and then viewing the videos again, does it make a difference?
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense sometimes. I mean, there are times where you're watching the video and you're kind of like, okay, I kind of see what they're doing, I'm not 100% sure, and then you start doing it and then you realize that, hey, wait a minute, this angle is extremely important, or grabbing here is extremely important, or getting your elbow in front of your body, you know, like 1 extra inch makes a huge difference in whether you've got control or you don't have control. So yeah, a lot of it's the touch and feel, and then going back to see the video again, and if you really watch it, you say, hey, okay, yeah, now I get that position, where before you're kind of like, okay, I see where you're at, but I'm not 100% sure what's going on.
Right. Cool. Last year you at 2017 ITC over in the Chicagoland area. What made you decide that you wanted to give it a shot?
Main thing for me is there's not this type of collie in my area, and one of my big things is fitness. I used to run a lot, and it's kind of way as I get older to kind of keep myself in shape. I was kind of wanting to get out of the solo training, because I kind of can do the lines and I can watch the videos and I do a lot of stuff, but if I'm not interacting with people, then you know, there's an element there that you just can't do it without people. So that was the main reason I went to 2017 ITC, and that's the main reason I'm back, so to see how well my skills have developed from, you know, last year.
Okay, how do you like the location this year?
The location this year is great. It's a lot better than inside. I've even though we had shoes on inside, we're kind of on the mats. Like, I hate working on the mats. I'd rather work outside, you know, and then not being barefoot, because I broke my toe on mats before and it's not fun, you know. And moving around and going places in the rocky terrain that we had trained on the other day, we hiked around, and it's completely different than being like on the street, or maybe even being in your backyard, especially when you've got a steep slope and you got different sized rocks that you're trying not to step on, or maybe if you do step on them, you're trying not to fall. So yeah, it's fun.
Right. Awesome. Yeah. And then Paul Ingram, your thoughts on Paul Ingram being the teacher?
He's great. He'll answer any question that you have. Very in-depth. Ultimately, it's like if you ask the right question, you get the right answer, right? That's kind of with everything, but he tries to understand what the question is too. So even if you don't have the question exactly the way he thinks it is, he has a way of asking questions back to you to understand what the root of your question is. And I've emailed him a few times too, and he's, you know, he'll respond. It might take him a day or two depending on how busy he is, but I've never had a problem getting the answer that I'm looking for. The main thing is just ask the right question and be as detailed as possible.
Awesome. I guess the final question would be, people who missed out on ITC or are looking forward to ITC next year, what are your thoughts about, you know, before, during, after, and people who probably missed out on ITC?
Well, I think the before, the big thing is make sure you're doing the footwork and you get the endurance in. And you know, if you think you're just going to do some solo training and you're not going to do any of the footwork, and all of a sudden you decide that, hey, you know, I haven't really been in shape for the last year, but now this isn't going to be so bad, you might be in for quite a surprise. It is pretty brutal on the body, especially when you keep going day after day after day. You're going to be sore, and if you know, have some degree of you know, endurance, it'll be painful. Do some conditioning on your forearms. You don't need to do a lot, but you will get hit, and it's going to be painful after a while. Even if you're tapping light, if you keep hitting the same spot every time, it's going to get tender. So that's kind of the big thing. Just you need to be prepared mentally for the challenge that's going to happen. And if you're prepared in that manner, it's not going to be that big of a deal, and you're going to have fun. And you know, just ask questions.
So you'd recommend it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. 2018. See you next year.
Yep. See you next year.
Better,
Yep.
better. Awesome. Thanks, man. That's awesome.